When Matt Casey announced his departure from the Chicago Fire, fans were taken aback. Fans bonded with the dedicated protagonist, and his burgeoning connection with Sylvie Brett became an important part of the plot. Many people were left wondering if Sylvie would accept him when he went. If not, what is her motivation? Killmer, who plays Sylvie, explained why she did not finish up with her on-screen boyfriend. Stay tuned as we go deeper into the subject. First, Sylvie Brett did not leave with Matt Casey, according to Chicago Fire star Killmer, because of what he taught her. Jesse Spencer, who plays Matt Casey, has been with the show since its inception. However, he left for personal reasons and claims a desire for a change of pace, leaving fans in the show heartbroken. His character and Sylvie have built a nice bond, and many thought they were nearing the endgame, so fans naturally assumed Sylvie would follow when Casey announced his departure. Fans were relieved when Sylvie did not follow Casey. Killmer recently explained in an interview with One Chicago Day why her character chose to stay, recalling an encounter between Sylvie and Casey before he leaves, in which she tells him that her present work is very different from her previous one. Sylvie informs Casey that his co-workers are always more dedicated to their victims and go the additional mile, which put things into perspective for Sylvie. Quote, "I think it's sort of intriguing because even though Sylvie is at this crossroads of needing to decide whether to move with Casey or stay and devote herself to paramedicine, she stays because of Casey's influence," Killmer said, "because he's the one who has shown you how to do it time and time again." Moving on, Jesse Spencer's most recent job since leaving the show. Spencer departed Chicago Fire after the show's 200th episode in 2021. Spencer's working on an 8-part series titled The Last Day of the Space Age for Disney+, according to Distractify. The show will follow 3 families in Western Australia in 1979 when a power outage threatens the town's preparations for the Miss Universe pageant and a U.S. space station crashes nearby. The release date for Disney Plus has yet to be disclosed. Spencer has told US Weekly of his choice to leave Chicago Fire. "It was a difficult decision because I've loved this program since the beginning, but there are other things I'd like to pursue in the future, and I have some relatives to take care of." Before joining Chicago Fire, Spencer appeared as Billy Kennedy in the Australian soap drama Neighbours. He played the character from 1994 until 2000, returning briefly in 2005 and 2022 for the series finale. From 2004 through 2012, he played Dr. Robert Chase, an intensive care expert and surgeon in Fox's medical drama House. Following that, will Jesse Spencer be back on Chicago Fire? Spencer returned to Chicago Fire for the wedding of Stella Kidd and Kelly Severide. Fans hoped for his return following the episode, but Casey stood firm in his refusal to return to Firehouse 51. However, showrunner Derek Haas intimated that Casey would not be forgotten because the character was just written as having left town. There's a chance he'll return because he wasn't killed off. Spencer told Deadline that he and Haas had long discussions to his return to the program. Quote, "There's always the possibility that I'll return," he remarked. "We're still debating whether Casey will return. That's a possibility, understand. Derek and I discussed it, and it's also possible for me." After Casey quits the Firehouse, will Casey and Brett break up? Matt Casey, Jesse Spencer, and Sylvie Brett, Killmer have been trying to do their long-distance romance, making it work. Although he is in Oregon and she is still in Chicago, she did go to see him, but when she returned in the finale, Brett stated that she was glad to be back at 51, which she considered her home. On the other hand, Casey had discovered a new passion in being a father and fighting wildfires in his new home, she said. They addressed the matter at the wedding reception. Quote, "How long can we keep this with such a long time apart?" Brett inquired. "But we're together tonight," Casey said. "We wouldn't be surprised if we learned early in season 11 that they've taken a hiatus." Next up, are Violet and Gallo heading for a reunion? Violet Mikami Hangnako Greensmith, a paramedic, may be ready to end her relationship with Chief Evan Hawkins. Jimmy Nicholas. "Dating your boss is a poor idea," she said in the finale, especially given the complications it generated when Brett's temporary replacement, Emma Caitlin Carver, tried to take her job at 51 and blackmailed Hawkins. Emma revealed that her true colors when she fled a fire, leaving a 61-year-old partner and a pregnant victim inside. Violet felt he didn't do enough to help her, perhaps not realizing that he was willing to take the blow, including quitting for her. Still, it appears that she and her ex, Blake Gallo, Alberto Rosende, will also sought to help her. concluded the season in a much better place. Is there going to be a reunion? Will there be a love triangle in season 11, or will Hawkins fade into the background? Moving on, what will happen to Severide and Kidd? The good news is that Lieutenant Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney, and Lieutenant Stella Kidd, Miranda Ray Mayo, married in the season 10 finale despite losing their venue. The bad news is that they were mistaken in believing that the drug dealer Severide was assisting the police in apprehending, and he fled town. After all, we doubt the individual who drove up to the chalet on their wedding night is simply dropping off a late present. Will both firefighters be unharmed by whatever happens? Will anyone know they'll require assistance? Next up, in Chicago PD Season 9 Episode 4, Jay Halstead discovers the truth about Roy. Jay Halstead and Haley Upton's relationship has been problematic since the first episode of Chicago PD Season 9 Episode 4, and fans have been wondering if Haley Upton will ever leave Chicago PD. Only Hank Voight understood the truth when Upton murdered Roy. They lied to the other members of the intelligence unit and pretended that Roy was still at large. But Halstead became worried, and Upton stopped eating, sleeping, and acting normally. Finally, he learned the truth from Voight in Chicago PD Episode 9 Season 4. Halstead tracked down Voight's automobile when Upton continued to work abnormally and did not sleep. And that's where Voight eventually told Halstead everything. Quote, Haley had no other alternative except to shoot. Voight explained to Halstead, she saved my life. That's exactly what occurred. You're free to be angry at me, Jay. You're free to be as enraged as you want. But you now know, so assist her. Moving on, is Haley Upton leaving Chicago PD? Jay Halstead returns to the house at the end of Chicago PD, Season 9, Episode 4. After learning the truth from Hank Voight, he stands by Haley Upton's bed, angry and disappointed at the end of the episode. So is Haley Upton leaving Chicago Police Department now that she suspects Halstead knows the truth? While Upton has been in hot water due to the Roy incident, we doubt she'll depart. Voight instructed Halstead to, quote, assist Upton in overcoming her ordeal. Once Halstead's initial shock wears off, we'll see how it affects their relationship for the rest of the season. Tracy Spiridakos, who plays Upton, also hinted that there is much more narrative left in the season. Quote, the shame of it all, and keeping it a secret from Burgess, keeping it a secret from Halstead, is a problem. She explained to TV Insider. Quote, we're just on episode 5, but from what I gather, that fight will continue for her for some time. Furthermore, many anticipated a Halstead-Upton wedding, but there won't appear to be any solid arguments for that, which may mean the couple splits up. Quote, I'm not sure if there will be a wedding in this season or if I will be later, Spiridakos remarked. Finally, what are the repercussions that could result from Jay Halstead going to the authorities with Haley Upton's secrets? Although it seems doubtful that Haley Upton would depart Chicago PD after Season 9, the question does remain whether or not she will quit the intelligence unit. What exactly takes place if Jay Halstead divulges her confidence to the other members of the department? If the departments find out that Upton murdered Roy, one of the punishments could be a transfer, as started by one Chicago center. However, this is on the less severe end of the spectrum. Due to the scenario, she may lose her badge and be brought before a judge. Hank Voight's reputation within the department may also suffer as a result. Will Halstead reveal the details of what happened to Roy to the other people? Actor Jesse Lee Soffer, who plays Halstead, recently reminded Cinema Blend that the character had kept several secrets to himself. This may indicate that he's willing to cover for Upton. He said that Jay might be the only one who strays from the straight and narrow at some point in the future. You should know that this has not been the case in the past, and Jay's concealed information from Voight lied to him and covered things up. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you enjoyed it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching.